Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Merc Academy semifinals Emerald Edition. I am Sandbag. Joining me, Mr. Seikyo, to be taking us through this cast. Brother, how are we doing today?
I'm back. I'm super hyped that I'm gonna be casting with you tonight, and of course, being in Mercus Academy semifinals, you know that we're gonna be watching a lot of how would I address this? A lot of fighting, a lot of weird team fights, and 24/7 fighting for no reason over the Scuttle Crab.
Hey, whoa, those are not the same thing. Fighting for no reason is one thing. Fighting over the crab, as a jungle player myself, death before dishonor, you ain't getting my crab, bro.
Yeah. Why did we lose the game? The crab in top side. I just wanted. Actually, wait. One of the things that I feel like a lot of games you can lose it in competitive games. Like yeah, you just like logged in, you wanna invade enemy, and you just wanna grab his blue, red, something like this, and you can end up like using a lot of resources, a lot of stuff in your team.
Yep, you absolutely can. And in order to get that crab, you're going to have to draft some teams as they float up on your screen. Going to be jumping into those band phases, Pantheon, Kane, and Viego. Some heavy jungle focus going to be taken away from Light Lotus, Carnation. And on the other side, the Berserkers going to be taking away Ezreal, Swain, and Gwen, with the bot lanes picked up on either side, Zeri and Jinx matched on up. It seems like, honestly, all things considered, relatively normal for this first game of the best of 5.
I really like the fact that you're having Azir in this early phase. Actually, I don't like it. Never mind. I take my word. So you're actually putting yourself into the position. Yeah, you're gonna get counter picked in mid. You're gonna get counter picked in top and bot lane. That's what I think is gonna happen. Having Ziri at the first pick is like new to me. Like normally you're gonna be having like something like Rumble. You're gonna be having I don't know. Zinzao is a really good option. Having Vi, a lot of variety option you can use it, and they are pairing Talia with Wukong. What is Pantheon? Pantheon? Oh, they banned him. Never mind.
Unfortunately. Yeah. I would have liked the Pantheon, but it was a clever ban on that one. Anything that you can link up for that seismic shove can be Wukong on in. Lulu to complete the Jinx combination, any sort of hyperscaling attack speed, desiring the Lulu when you got that whimsy going on. All things considered, these are reasonable assemblies for both of these teams, and nothing too weird in this first game.
Nothing too weird, but like the fact that you're I don't know how to say it, but like when you see other champions, they are fine, but like it's not always you don't think that you're gonna witness Zeri in the first pick. You don't think that having Talia Wukong is valuable. Like I really I lost the word in my head, but like it's the not the coordination, the pick
The synergy,
itself,
right?
not the
The
synergy. No. Like the R like normally R1 won't be Zeri. I don't know, it's weird, but like anyways, let's jump back into the game and jump back to the draft. I lost a word. I can't bring it back right now, so my head is corrupted. And yeah, I like the
Anyway.
fact that they are banning a lot of support champions. Leona and Drill are both like they have the all-in kit that will synergize well with the Wukong and Talia as well.
No, anything that you can have that lockdown. As we float on to that final set of bans, Amumu and Volibear going to be taken away for White Lotus, alongside the support pool pinched Leona and Rel. I would love a Realmus personally with the
Rammus?
changes that are going to be floated on through. Give me the lock-in, never baited by hovers. Seikyo! All of that talk of standard fare out the window. Armor Diller locked in for the Berserkers.
Ouch! That's gonna be heavy having Ramos as your main frontline tank. It's not something that you're used to watch it. Maybe in your solo queue games, it's totally fine. You can have him, but in competitive, that's new to me. And actually, I'm hyped to see it. On the other hand, like you can see, White Lotus, they're having a really good combination, having Ornn as your top laner, gives you the engage that you need. Also having Rakan with the quickness, with the wait, actually, is it Hero's entrance or Grand entrance? I think that Grand entrance is Rakan and Hero's entrance is for Galio, right?
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah. So having all of those utilities that he can enter the team fight, having Ziri he can play just like front to back with her. Wait till the boo comes out from Talia and Hooga Booga. You have the team fight.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have fairly streamlined ways of getting their task done. You're trying to link up that Talia Wukong bump. You're trying to get that sort of chaining of these big AoEs, Grand Entrance, the Ornhorn, Call of the Forge God that you were talking about. You've got a ton of knockups to be dealing with. That being said, you are still trying to fight through outrageous amounts of sustain and peel, right? Fighting through the Shen bubble, fighting through the Lulu disengage. Rammus in your backline going to be trying to get onto Zeri as best as he can. And especially in that particular matchup, the taunt is strange when you speak of Zeri's ways of sort of pseudo auto attacking, but not really, right?
And like speaking of the red team combination, or like the red team draft, I feel it's more like protect the present comp. You're having the Lulu for utility, you're having Shen for shield, and W of course that you can block any auto attacks. Zeri won't have like the same effect. Zeri, Wukong. Actually, I think that Wukong's Q gets blocked by Shen's W, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about that. Correct? Oh, okay. So I'm not that old. And also, and also, like you're just like you waiting for the reset that Jinx can get, and she's gonna have some rockets, some missile rockets launched at you.
Yeah,
Extra
I think
attack speed,
that's
extra damage.
I think that's absolutely worth calling out because typically when you're trying to play a Jinx, a lot of times you like burst. You like being able to lock down one target, burst them, and then all of a sudden Jinx has reset. And a Hyper Jinx and a non-Hyper Jinx are completely different monsters. So my eyes drift towards Rakan. He is a champion with outrageous amounts of mobility, but if you get a hold of him, you pin him down, he will simply explode and give that reset. Wukong, not quite so fragile, but also can more sort of skirmisher style champion. Those two members are the ones that you look to avoid the resets. If their engage sticks and they're able to get, let's say, multiple members of the Berserkers in their engage, they should win the fight before it even really comes to fruition. So much more pick. But on the other side, a Rakan caught is not only just a loss of a support, but just a loss of a fight at all.
And that's a really good point also. Speaking of Rakan, you know that most supports are really squishy. Like, honestly, like I'm not speaking about Leona or Leona type shit. I'm just speaking about, I don't know, Rakan, Lulu. Also a lot of champions, whatever. Let's just like, we don't care about it. But like having a lockdown on Rakan, he's very squishy. You know that he have a really good damage dealing in like in the mid late game with Azir, Jinx. You can use them to just like burst him. Also, the lockdown from Rammus, taunt from Shin, Polymorph from Lulu. That's a lot. If you can just like give one reset for the Jinx, it's over in the team fight.
It's also going to be organized lines. If you have this backline, frontline stagger sort of effect, the Valhalla Berserkers are going to be far more happy with the organized, structured style of fight at Drake, two battle lines and run at each other, good old-fashioned planes of battle, versus White Lotus, who can get far more creative. You have that Weaver's Wall, you have the invisibility and the mobility, the sort of scrappy style of in and out fighting. You don't even necessarily need to take these all-out engages. You just get one and get out. Or catch somebody out before that they have an objective set up, and vision play becomes far more important when you have these sort of Talia Wukong combos running around.
Also, speaking of Talia and Wukong, you know that your team is really good when it comes to team fighting. And yes, as you mentioned, you can just like bench someone out, get your advantage, start an objective, and look for a 5v4 fights. You know that like, okay, the enemy team got Azir, he can shove you in with the Shurima shuffle, or like, the The fact that he's gonna be tanky because of Shin, Rammus's shields, and those kind of stuff. Not Rammus's shield. I'm sorry. Rammus engage as like his frontliner. You know that still you can win those team fights if you're just like having the numbers advantage, playing it correct, play after the Orn, or maybe wait for the Walking Cyclone. It's gonna be a lot better for you to play around it.
Is as we have the picks going to be locked in on both sides, I want to sort of pull a little bit of information out of you here, right? You've been able to see a bit more of these two teams in previous their paths towards semis. As the newcomer here, as the one who's fresh in, have you been
I'm
able to
newcomer
see
too.
any? Oh, you haven't been able to see anything either.
No, no.
Oh, okay. I was curious if you had been able to see either of these teams and had any sort of an inkling. No information on how these two teams got here.
Uh, they got to semifinals after winning the quarterfinals. Some don't.
Okay, okay, allow it. So do you okay? So do you have a preference on drafts? That was the follow-on question, because teams can play very differently depending on who you want to play through. You know, there's the hyper carry type comps who, if you have an AD carry player who demands resources, you simply give them as many resources and let them take the game over.
Sure.
If you're
Like
the more scrappy style mid focus, push it, because right now, White Lotus have the push and roam comp. Talia wants to get out of the map and get towards this bot lane. So I didn't know if that was something that they have experienced it, because it's a little bit more tricky than the Berserkers, who are simply, our numbers will be bigger than your numbers, like.
Berserkers, I feel that they know that their mid laner is really good, so you're just gonna play around him, and Jinx, of course. So you're just playing protect the president. You have two players that they need all the utility, everything that you can have to make them survive, and you're just trying to give them whatever they need. When it comes to team fighting, when it comes to anything, you're just gonna play front to back and try to survive anything with the shields and those kind of stuff. The other team, I feel it's like, okay, so we're all equal, so we're gonna just play a normal game, or like not a normal game, a game that we can have multiple players that can be the damage dealers. You have the Wukong, if Wukong got fed, okay, so just like give him resources, let him be the main source of damage, and we're just gonna play around him, around the Orn, not the Orn of course, around the Orn horn, around the Orn horn, like Call of the Force God, as you mentioned before. So you have variety when it comes to damage dealing, unlike the Berserkers. And as you mentioned before, you have the fact that you can just, okay, I believe that they can play on the side lanes also. Ornn is really good in side lane. Who's gonna match him? Shin, you can actually deny his ultimate Shin, like deny Shin's ultimate by just like giving him a W and auto attack, using your Q if he's not Q, using your E if he's behind the wall, or using something. You can just make the side lane presence good for your team, and you can deny a lot of your enemy team's plays.
Before they even happen, I would push back a little bit on that. I feel like Berserkers can also side lane significantly. I would actually say the Shen probably wins out in the orange side lane, but neither one of those are really looking to tower take. They're looking to try and push and roam. They're trying to get the waves crashing and then be there first, not have to spend a TP, not have to be there second to the other side of the fight. And Talia, well, Azir can shuffle his way forwards. He's got some mobility with the nerfs that came through about move speed. Talia should be there first. All things going to chalk in this mid lane, Talia should simply be there first.
To be honest, like I feel that what you're saying is really correct, and I feel like, okay, what did I just say is total bullshit. Got nothing to do with League of Legends. But yeah, let's get in. The game is about to start. So, speaking of both teams, that we're gonna be having our predictions up. So keep in mind that you can just like go roll for the team that you think he's gonna win, and let's see your predictions and who's actually gonna win the first game of the series. And right now, I feel like both teams have their win cons. You have to just play around it, and I really like the Azir skin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Azir skin is pretty nice. Okay. I will answer your question. I will take up the call. Who's going to be winning game one? I think any
Okay.
comp that has the easier way to press their buttons,
Ha
I
ha
am a
ha.
fan. I like
Hmm.
putting all of my eggs in the right click them basket and then you right click them. So when you have Peachy Pixel, Kakarot, these sort of hyper carries protect the president comps, I feel like you can't kill them through Shen Lulu. That's what I'm going to predict. So I think Red Team has my heart on this first game.
So you're going for the red team? Hmm. To be honest, like I really like red team's comp, but I feel it only gets activated after uh, you can see the Avir with 3 items and Jinx with 3 items. If they got it, so the game is over. So you have to just rush in the game if you want to win.
Yeah, in a world where this game does go late, they absolutely have it in the bag. I just feel like they're going to be able to get towards late because there's no real way to blast the game open for the Lotus. I don't think they're going to be able to smash it open. That being said, obviously I could be wrong. This is simply a prediction, but that's where my intuition would move.
And for the second time, I feel that you're correct. And they don't have the early jungler, Wukong. I don't know, like, I don't feel like my League of Legends character is out yet. I was just like playing some football games. So yeah, my League of Legends character is out of the equation right now. So I'm just fumbling. And yeah, speaking of early game, you know that you have the mid pressure from Talia, from the rocks using it, and also the improved rock, which is like the circle that you got on the ground. And speaking of which, right now I don't really know why bot lane are just like trading for no reason. You should have just like went for the push. Rakan wasted a lot of HP and a health potion over nothing.
Pot's the big one, right? You're taking a trade, you're getting a little bit of pushback, but then you end up paying a whole pot to do so. And it might look like they're going to win the rush to level 2. Zap going wide, but Peachy Pixel still in control of the wave. And a good sign. You'd like to think they'd hold that right ranged into melee.
Yeah, they should have not actually the range than melee when it comes to boot matchup. Like Rakan is not a melee champion, but like he can just like go all in that way into Lulu Jinx. You know that you're gonna get immediately traded. Rakan is one of those champions that you need to wait for level 3 to or like level 2 to be actually online. Have your E and W leveled up, so you can actually trade, have a way in and a way out. That's all that I'm gonna say.
Nice little trade in the meantime by Ornn. He's going to be able to get a couple of those grasp autos in. Shocking to see because typically you'd like to think the Shen's base damage would be able to hold him early on in this, but shout out to Arashi. He's getting some good trades and he's winning that HP war up top lane.
Actually, speaking of Arashi and speaking of Ornn in top lane, a lot of people don't know that the fact that Ornn is one of those champions that can easily solo kill a lot of its champions in early game, because like his damage kit is really high, and also once he get level 6, he can't actually 1v1 him. He wins a lot of 1v1s in the top lane.
He does. Brittle is a wonderful spell. Bellows Breath, nothing to be played with. And Waldo's down to 150 HP. Very dicey situation. Meanwhile, collision course. That crab that we were talking about jumping on in. Peachy Pixel popped up in the air. Here comes that power ball as the Ram is looking to re-engage. Aftershock taunting up one. It's not the clone, so he's able to mic away on out. He does the defensive ball curl. Flash to the other side. Slayer gets it done. Support picking up first blood. Tempo stacking. E out. And it is the Lotus winning out on that river fight.
Ooh, another trade in top side, and also you got the river fight. You got also your first scuttler in bot side. I believe he's gonna try to get the double scuttler right now, or maybe yeah, he should just go for the double scuttler and make that Rammus just lose a lot of experience. And you're gonna just try to recall afterwise and get your tempo done, get the second wave in rotation, and play your game. Toxic is just being toxic right now.
I was gonna say Toxic is living up to the branding here. He has some branding to defend, and he's doing it, checking out those emotes as well as AD recalls.
He actually does. And on the top side of the map, you can see that they are just starting to stack some gold and stack some advantage in top and bot, and also in jungle. I don't like the fact that Wukong did very cool right now, but I believe he should at least wait, not wait, actually take two camps and look for a recall.
Toxic has successfully managed to pull this wave in order to freeze it, and they let him do it. They let him get away with absolute murder, and they're going to be suffering in terms of creeps. Meanwhile, Waldo's getting a nice little trade onto Arashi. Slower start, but people are still making moves as they move about their business or about to receive a significant minion wave and creep the gold lead up. Right, he's already at an 8 CS lead. He's going to be pushing that to double digits in a second.
I believe he can. What actually I don't like right now till this moment, Arashi didn't recall. Not Arashi, the jungler, uh, Apitello, Abitlo,
Abtello, yeah. Abtello,
Aptello, yeah,
something
Aptello.
like that.
Oh yeah, something like that. Aptello, just like he's looking for the second wave rotation, or like the second clear of his jungle. And right now he got three camps and recalled, so he's just like destroying his jungle tempo. No tempo in the jungle. He losing the Bri over Drake, and the LR or the other team is just like having a better advantage in bot side, and he's gonna be moving first. Also, as you can see, not Wukong, the jungler is just wasting time in the brush, but he's just moving faster. That's
Meanwhile, up at the
the
top
tempo
lane, Call the
thing.
Forge God. Arashi's going to be taking the 1v1. Base damages. Does not find it. Auto attack in. Waldo's got another bit of HP to work with. W comes through. Arashi, just as you predicted, picking up the solo kill on the level 6 spike.
It is like speaking of Orun's damage, he got the Sunfire and he got the wave. And right now we can see Shin actually doesn't have TP. This wave got no cannon. Speaking of what side?
Toxic can be
Toxic.
chunked down to 28,200 HP and beer en route, but he's got to level up to top himself a little bit more. Don't be face checking this here. Powerball. Slayer in a sticky situation if he doesn't get that E off. Here comes the taunt. More CC flies through. Eden looking for polymorph, but in comes this mid laner. Beer's got the armadillo pinch. 900 HP. Abtello's gonna be trying to take this Drake away. Lego's trying to get on in. Smited down. Emperor's Divide. Alley oop. Mid jungle link up, and this is all Ragnaroks to win. Beer is forced on his heels. One more auto with the rockets. Hyper goes through. Peachy Pixel picks up a triple kill. Eden's forced to flash out of the heated up tower shot. Lulu loses sums, but they win the fight.
The rotation from Azir starting from the team fight and actually uses his ultimate over Wukong only. It was really good because, okay, you lost the dragon, but he actually had a better chance when it comes to getting gold. And having Jinx with two kills this early on game is something you don't really want to see. It's gonna be bad.
Oh, not at all if you're cheering for these Lotus members. Top lane is definitely where you're going to be trying to keep your eyes if you are a supporter of this blue squad, because right now we're looking at a 20 CS lead and a solo kill up on this top side. This Shen he is suffering something serious.
And right now they should start the void grubs. You have the advantage in mid lane, you have the mid push, you have the top push, so you're better on objective controlling. And right now you can see the Ramos trying to hover and look for the team fight.
He is so far going to be able to get a taunt onto Rakan, who simply battle dances his way on towards safety. Kakarot and Slayer on a bit of a collision course, but they now own the pit and will be able to pick up the rest of these grubs. No big deal.
Even though that they had the other team had the advantage of just like starting the void grubs, they had the chance to just try to finish it because actually you have Call of the First God, you still have the Talia's Weaver's Wall, you can just wall them out, and yeah, they're just like locked out of your country, they can't even enter.
Here comes that Powerball. He has the level 6 on in. Seismic Shove is not going to find the mark. Locked down forever. Chompers popped up. No buttons pressed. Peachy Pixel on a killing spree as the Call of Forge God. Brittle proc. One more auto will do it to you. Not in time. Arashi picks up this second of the game. Trading plays mid for top laner.
Even though Arashi is playing a weak side and top side, but he's actually killing it, having blades into his side and having double CS into Shin, which is gonna make it. mm, I mean, It's really good when it comes to your top laner to have that kind of lead, but looking into bot side, it's not looking that good. Yuntal completed into Jinx, so that means she's gonna be having more attack speed and more damage when it comes to fighting, and she's probably gonna start looking for the IE, which is gonna make her a lot different, like not different, hard to match when it comes to damage.
I also want to just take a moment to take a quick little look see at these top lane inventories. Toxic and Eater are going to be slapping each other around, doesn't matter so much. Take a look at these inventories. If you walk too far forwards, though, this might be a little bit more serious. This is Redemption Shen, soon to be coming through here. He has got himself a Kindle Gem and some healed and shield empowerment. This,
True.
your thoughts, sir? This Shen.
No. So he's just playing as a second support. He knows actually that he can't match the enemy top laner, probably. Like he knows that the enemy top laner is just better, or they are just trying to give Jinx more resources, having the redemption from your top laner. And I believe Ardent Sensor is gonna be the first item for Eden. So you have Ardent Sensor, you have redemption, and probably he's gonna look for the locket, so he's gonna be super tanky. You can't kill him. Not super tanky. I'm not speaking about Chen. I'm speaking about Jinx. She's gonna be super tanky, and you won't be able to kill her because of all of those resources that you're just playing around her.
All the buffs that are going to be applied here. Could also be that Shurelia's. We'll see where she goes for Lulu. Eden's. She's got options on that one. I do love the sensor this game, though. The amount of attack speed value, even Rammus can use it, as funny as that sounds. But you have Azir, you have Jinx, who both desperately like that attack speed. Rammus can use it, per se, as there's going to be a bit of a collision course. Here comes Arashi, though. This isn't going to be a fair fight for long. Kakarot over the wall, putting some damage into Abtello, sliding over the wall. Empress Divide, flash away. Here comes the rest of the re-engage. Super Mega Death Rocket connecting onto this Ornn. Powerball over, locking down. Throwing out a little bit of a cyclone of his own.
Moving.
Wukong in retreat. He's got the second proc of it, but he's slowed with the smite. Warrior Trickster to safety. Waldo can't get it done. Both junglers live it on 200. Here comes Toxic. He has quickness. If he wants to trigger pull, he will go. Kakarot forced to flash away from Battle Lance, connected with that unstable earth. Locked down and killed. Ornn gets the final bonk down as they look for another on solo laners. Waldo, taunt over the wall. Locked up against the wall. More pop-ups. You can't touch the ground. The Lotus finding themselves a pair of kills in the top side river.
That chain CC is really hard to play around it, like to just play against it. Having the quickness from Rakan, having the W, and also the knock up from Arashi, it was just insane. And actually, I like the fact that they timed it well. Like he had the knock up from Ornn, then he got the the grand entrance from Rakan that actually pulled you off the fight. And now, also, they are just trying to lane swaps. Toxic and Slayer are going to the top side. Slayer is just gonna try to get some plates and not lose. Like, try to trade some gold with Jinx. You know, she got 2 Void Grubs, she got 3 kills. So she can just take a lot of plates from your turret, which is she's actually doing right now. But that's a way of just like trying to not lose that much.
Get some sort of resources back on the other side. And as we have a moment to find ourselves a breather, this gold disparity, if you're the Ornn, you're about the only bright point that you have. Because you need to continue to leverage your lead and get those carries back in the game. Try and see if you can get something going with Talia. Sabtello able to connect himself a red buff steal support in route. Here comes that grand entrance popped up, forcing the Rammus ultimate. He's going to be able to Q away, but down a red buff. More jungle resources tax. Top lane, that is a sizable gold lead. 2,200 ballpark.
That's a lot. Speaking of the gold lead, actually, you can see the full team is rooting towards top lane.
Redemption is a bit of value here. Toxic's going to be eating a tower shot, getting the outplay. Waldo gets a pair in trade. Look at the damage coming through. Redemption was where it's out smiting to interrupt the recall. Slayer's now going to be taking some damage from Lego Alien. There are bodies littering the top side of the map. Slayer was no further danger, but the stall from Redemption making the difference on tower shots.
Besides, he gave Jinx another kill and a double buff. The rocket actually hit it. Also, the turret was just like the hero of the last team fight. Speaking of the turrets, you can see the first turret knocked off the red team, and now it's kind of traded. It's like, I don't know how to say this, but if you can look at the resources, Orn having tons of resources versus a Jinx, so anyone can just normally root for the Jinx because basically, why would he go for like a lot of resources to Orn? I mean, he was better, but right now
Looking
she's
for
just
Eden
gonna
quickness. There's not going to be any Florida follow up.
alive.
Flashing in the other side, two-man pop-up thanks to that wild growth. Peachy Pixel is going to be linking up with Eden's damage. Here comes Abtello, stepping away from that Zeri WTP channel, disengaging and coming out significantly better on those summoner spells. Slayer burning them both, Toxic burning them both, and even Blair chucking out a TP of their own.
Right now, he can, or actually, you should just like as a Jinx, you have to recall, look for your IE, look for your items, and just play the game. Even though you have 2k gold advantage into the blue team, but still, any actual team fight you know that Jinx is capable of clutching the team fight. And the Ardent Sensor is completed for the Lulu. So you have Ardent Sensor, you have Redemption, and you have everything to make you go ahead. The problem is, I would say, that Azir is not actually online. He died 2 times, and he's one of your main carries that you need to just keep him alive as long as you can.
No, you're definitely looking towards Jinx in this point in the game to try and be the main engine, the main damage dealer. Zeri, you could actually even play some peel though. You have that ultimate, you have a little bit of mobility. You can look to just try and space out Jinx and let her play her game, as we are very close to IE completion, and that will be a significant bump in power.
Speaking of power, they're actually pushing the blue team out of the Rift Herald pit, and right now, Jinx is just like your main carry, your main source of everything. Having her alive is what you're looking for, and Shin, all the resources should go towards her. I think that they can just start the objective. You have Azir's
There's
ultimate now in
divide.
bot
It's going to be
side.
mid versus mid. Beer forced to flash away from that Azir turret. They has a nice little pushback. Auto attack to death. The soldiers get it done. Meanwhile, in the mid game engage. Peachy Pixel can be jumped on. Cyclone popped up. Do you have the lockdown? Jinx is forced to flash away. One more auto. Arashi gets the assassination. They had the final tick of damage. They have popped her up forever, and the engine cut from the Ragnarok team fight.
They got everything into Jinx, and actually it worked. Even though she got Lulu's ultimate, she got the ultimate from Shen, she got everything to keep her alive. But no, it wasn't enough because of the damage that came out from the other team right now. 4 kills, or like, sorry, 4 kills into the Ornn. Arashi is just popping off your game right now. Okay. Spider Sense?
Rashi, he's trying to take over all 3 lanes simultaneously. He's already won top lane. He gets to play in mid, and he wanted himself another kill bot lane. This Ornn is actually trying his best to pull this game to a very swift end.
You need the third item. If you're just like cheering for Jinx, you know that you need the third item to be online. Maybe LDR is a really good option for the Ornn, for the Wukong, but I believe if you have the rapid fire cannon, or like the one that gives you 2 arrows, it will be really good for your side.
Was there going to be a bit of an engage here? Toxic forced away from the Rammus engage. Ornn does not have Call of the Forge God, so will not be pinching himself a fight. He just hits him with a Scorch and stands there. Eski was pressed, but waiting on that Ornn cooldown is going to be the next trigger pull.
Right now, they're trying to clear the vision into Drake and just keep forcing the Drake play. Right now, you can see the trade in top side also having the advantage, having the Bryo, having the River to your side. Is really
4v4s and 1v1 up on the top side. Shen taking the worst end of it. He doesn't have Stand United, so no ultimate to be rejoining. This will be simply 4v4 until TP's channeled, and he will chuck it.
Blur actually can move faster. He's currently in mid lane, tries to take the mid push, and now you can see the clutch. I think he can use the Weaver's Wall and make Toxic engage in the top side of the map, but they actually have no vision right now. The fight is just about to start, and the Blur, let's go with the wall.
Weaver wall up against it. They're going to have a 4-man ultimate. Here comes the wombo combo. Ornn linking up with his solo laners. 2-man Empress Divide, but it's too little too late. Jerry gets a double. You line them up and knock them down. Lotus getting 3 kills.
That's the perfect execution of your team fight. You basically had the Weaver's Wall, you locked up 3 members, and the hero's entrance, the grand finale of the team fight, it was just coming up from you. Rakan, like it was so clear, so good to watch this combo being executed in the last team fight.
Between a literal rock and a hard place to be on that river fight was a very one-sided affair, and that is second Drake of the game picked up, and more importantly, further gold. Your AD carry is starting to get some leverage, starting to get some momentum going as they knock down some structures, and if we flip over to that gold lead, it's closing in the bot lane.
Actually, it is. Also, something that caught my attention, that like if you're gonna be playing around Jinx, she needs to take a really good position in team fights. 2 team fights in a row, she got caught mid-air, mid-team fights. I don't believe that he's just trying to play frontline Jinx, and that doesn't work here. In this composition, you should stay alive for as long as you can.
Beer's going to be taking a little bit of a trade here against Kakarot, extending it with the threaded volley, taking auto attacks in trade. One more Q will do it. Does he have the damage left? There, Soldier's not quite there. Just on the edge of the spear range. Toxic's going to be popped up thanks to that Powerball, but it's a Rakan. He's able to slip out at any point he so chooses. Super Mega Death Rocket just missing on that minimap as here comes Alien. He's trying to get himself out of dodge as the members rejoin. He saw the Ornn hustling his way through that rift, but is able to simply roll to safety.
Atakan is actually gonna spawn in top side. You need to just start playing around it, because speaking of Atakan, he gets better when you have more takedowns, when you have more kills, and you have more objectives, and you have anything towards your back. You know that Atakan gives you the execution effect that you have from Elder Dragon, but like it's a lighter one. So you need to keep that in mind, and you should be focusing more around it. And right now, I believe that the soul of this map is gonna be that's not mountain, that's movement
Cloud.
speed
You
soul.
see the little move
Yeah,
speed. You see the move speed
yeah,
as
yeah.
the Rashi is moving his way around the rift. And
Ac-
further gap closers. If you're in a mobile
mhm.
Jinx, Cloud Rift is actually a bit of a bad thing because people can rotate around the map.
Actually, for a second, I thought that it's gonna be Hextech Drake,
That's
but
another
now bot
1v1.
lane.
Emperor's Divide flipped over to the other side. Talia is forced into a dive and gets it done. 1-for-1 trade. Mids will go. But when you send 3 members, Atacon next on the chopping block. That's the trade you're taking all day long is Talia.
For sure, and for the for the blue team, you're just doing whatever you need. You have 3 members on both sides. They're actually trying to rotate right now. Take the mid turret. If you did not actually clear your wave in mid lane, you're gonna be in a really bad situation. Never mind, you kinda shoved it, so it's fine.
And they're here in time to even keep their mid T1 alive. So at the end of the day, Ragnarok pretty much coming up empty. They got a single kill on Talia and traded for full Atacon and a defense of their mid T1. Right now, they are playing this messier comp incredibly well. And right now, credit to Arashi. This Ornn is simply running Summoner's Rift.
I mean, I don't think it's messy. I feel like it's a wombo combo. You're playing on team fights, so your main source, like your main power spike, not power spike, your main thing that you're gonna be counting on in team fights is your ultimates. You need the
Mm.
Weaver's Wall, you need the Toxic's ultimate, you need the Cyclone, you need Orange Horn. You're just gonna play around your ultimates, and I like the fact that they have a really good synergy. They synergize it really well, and they play around each other. That's like a mirror to what's happening in your voice comms. If your voice comms are messy, you won't be even having half of those clean team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a very straightforward way to play. I didn't mean messy insofar as trying to make the game all sorts of strange or bad in any way, but just it's more difficult because you have to have combos, you have to have synergy. These spells must be layered versus
True.
able to simply walk forwards and right click them. The layering is what really matters. Is Lego's just going to be harassed a little bit on his Gromp. You see next Drake in 27 seconds and members starting to gravitate. Toxic, He's simply fearless. This man is just right clicking forwards every single time we see him.
I like the fact that they're actually trying to make some good process when it comes to vision score, not in the vision game. You know that they have the top side, or like I'm sorry, the bottom side control of the jungle, and now we can see
Oh,
the
the
all
wall.
in
Here
mid
comes it. Got
lane.
the Jinx again. Not able to get the wild growth in time. Eden flashes in retreat. This is a lost fight from the beginning. Four-man Emperor's Divide is nothing but cosmetic. They catch Peachy again and smash their way to a 5-0 ace. Base soon to be cracked.
It's a slaughtery. He got five, and he lost none. Right now, first game, White Lotus did actually impress us with the way they actually play. I believe like they will in synergy. They play like I don't know. I didn't see a lot of rookie teams play this way. So I really like the fact that they're been capable of pulling this team fight strategy good.
White Lotus Carnation, 25 minutes in, ruthlessly ending game one and push themselves to a solid lead in the BO5.
Sure. Actually, um, the team or like if you're gonna be speaking about who's gonna be your like I don't know MVP something like that, I believe it's Arashi. Like it should be either Arashi or Toxic. Arashi in the early to mid game, and Toxic for his engage. And like I feel the whole team did really good, but Arashi and Toxic are the most lethal players, or like the players that catch your eye a lot in the game.
Oh, it's Arashi for me by heads and shoulders. That man absolutely ran over his lane, ran mid, won a fight where you wouldn't be able to get that first pick on Jinx without Ornhorn. That's in my head, this is why Arashi gets it, because that Jinx lives the pick when she was sitting at 3-0. She lives that pick without the Call of the Forge God. She's able to recall, she's able to spend her money, IE was next up. There was no snowball. She built herself up a 3-0 lead off of some nice river fights, and then Arashi simply engaged on her. Beer got a Weaver's Wool, Arashi engaged on her. Toxic got a knockup, Arashi engaged on her. And they caught her, and they caught her, and they caught her, and the game ended. That was simply clinical from the rest of this Lotus side. And so we will be cutting ourselves into a short break to get ourselves ready for game two. Don't go anywhere. We got ourselves Ragnarok taken on Carnation right after this. And welcome back to the Merc Academy Emerald Edition, Game 2 of Valhalla Berserkers, taking on White Lotus Carnation. White Lotus able to pick up Game 1 in a 25-minute rushdown. I am Sandbag. Joining me is Seikyo. Bossman, how are we doing after the first one?
The first one was actually really good in team when it comes to team fighting. We saw White Lotus actual play style, and we really liked it. I'm gonna be speaking of myself. I really like the fact that they can synergize their ultimates, their movement. I feel like they are one unit, and they have one boss, they have one shot caller, and they're just like one man playing at 5 PCs.
One man at 5 PCs. That's the league you like to see. When it looks like a hive mind, that is what you absolutely love to see. Is we're gonna be chucking our way on into this draft. Blue won Belveth for the Berserkers, who elected to pick blue side up after losing game 1, and I, for one, have not been able to see this champion for a very long time.
It's true, but actually Bilvis just got buffed, so I believe the buff in E and the buff in the Q is actually gonna show up right now. I believe she got back into the meta. I don't think that she's one of the S tiers champions in jungle right now, but I believe she's a solid B plus, something like this. On the other end, I really like the fact that you're having Zinzao Aurora. Zinzao is one of those champions. If he got the Titanic Hydra, he can have like the Q3 really fast, and it's gonna be really good when it comes to, I don't know, ganging bot, trying to move around the map, whatever you wanna take in early game. You know that Zinzao is gonna be able to give it to your side.
Yep, strong early fighter and the ability to mitigate a lot of this long range damage when you throw out that Crescent Guard. As we are going to be seeing a couple of hovers for the AD carry, figuring out what they want to be playing. Kaisa Belveth. The void is opening on Summoner's Rift today, sir.
Are we gonna be having Kassadin in mid lane? I mean the triple
Can we
void?
Malzahar? Can we Malzahar lock in
Maybe.
here? I can see it, a full purple comp coming together.
Kha'Zix jungle? Yeah, actually. Oh wait, they have Bilvis. Never mind. I really like the voids. I don't like them in lore, but I like them in League of Legends. You know, there is something spooky when you play with the void champions.
Something spooky indeed, as Hui is going to be the election. No Mel's, no Kassadin. Hui, who is equally as gloomy, but significantly less purple than either of those other two options, and will be able to space as best as he can. But in my head, Zinzao is able to simply disregard a lot of what you want to do as a Hui.
Yeah, I really like the Zinzao pick here. It gets more value over the draft right now. Having Varus, I believe he's gonna be looking to play. Till now, he on-hit Varus, which is really good when you're playing versus three squishies, and two of them you can just like auto attack them to death and get your resets, get your extra attack speed that you can use into your side of the game. Right now, Poppy Pan is really good. Like you're playing with Aurora, you're playing with Zen, so a lot of jumps. So you just wanna limit the cancellation for them.
Gonna be taking away that puppet. A very funny thing is we were looking through what the Berserkers want to be drafting. Waldo has been doing nothing but play Kaisa for the last like 10 days. His last like 9-10 games have just been Kaisa. So I'm just gonna pitch the idea: top lane Kaisa. How do we feel on that one after the Shen?
Ooh. So that's a huge shift when it comes to picks, when it comes to playing League of Legends. So playing Kai'Sa with
Maybe
Evolved
not.
W.
Maybe not. I just want to put it out there that Waldo is competent on this champion, so it could be out there.
Wait, actually, I need one more purple pick. Probably is Jax.
Oh, Jax
I
is a
believe
good
that,
call out.
that Jax is a really good catch here, a really good champion. No, like besides playing with purple composition, like real talk, like having Jax on side lane. Besides having those two champions that's gonna be poking, Kaisa and Hui in mid, they're really good. Also, the Jax in the sudden pressure and having the ability to be one of your good flankers in team fights.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I don't mind that at all. If you're able to take a little bit of authority in the game, that's kind of what we were saying the last time with the Shen, but then the Ornn kind of ran over all of everybody, so you didn't get a chance to see that. The rest of the support pool is pinched heavily. All these melees. Remember, this is fearless, so there will be no Rakan and no Lulu. Alistar, the lock-in. After you take all of these S tiers off, these feel like the last two holdouts in terms of melee champions people are playing.
I truly believe that's true. Also, Braum is one of those champions that utilize a lot of, like, when you have a lot of auto attackers, it's really good with you playing with Belvith and Kaisa. You can use them to proc your passive really fast, and whoever gets your passive, you know, is gonna get 100 to 0 real quick.
Yep, it's not the greatest of engaged lanes if you're playing Kaisa and you want somebody who can just insta-apply that plasma. But at the same time, it's got solid value. It's stopping the dive out of the Alistar Xin Zhao team up, plays a little bit of front line and keep away for your Hui. So I understand it. I 100% understand it.
Oh, he was going for the Jax, but actually
he showed it. He flashed it. Just a moment.
Yeah. Renekton or Jax, come on, go for the Jax.
Play with your heartstrings here. I think probably gonna be the Renekton though, more than likely. Yeah, is gonna be locked in. Croc in the top.
Yeah, actually, Renekton is still a really good pick here. He's actually gonna have the dominance as a really good utility that he can use it for more HP, for more damage that he can put into your backline. So basically, he's still going for some champion that's gonna be played as a flanker. So it's either a Jax or a Renekton. They're both are really good right now. Also, the other team is going for the Ares. So it's just a reset combo. That's what I can say. A reset combo, you can give the reset to Varus, you can get the reset to Ari, and you know what's gonna happen when this Varus gets the extra attack speed and when Ari gets another soul in her Spirit Rush.
It's also such a nasty pick comp because the lockdown that's gonna fly through, Ali combo and stray charms, stray chains of corruption, Xin Zhao pop up as you were saying with that auto reset. You have this sort of scrappy, skirmishy comp, and I feel like my eyes drift towards this Hui, who that's not at all what he's wanting to play. He likes this more organized play, and he might struggle to find his way in this game.
I like the fact that he's playing Aurora, which is like when you get to mid late game, when she uses the ultimate, the damage from the circle is gonna be really huge. And I really like the fact that they forced banning the Poppy here, like Poppy versus this team comp. She's just having a free game that she can just easily win it by pressing W.
Yeah, Poppy would have been absolutely nasty, stuffing half of what they wanted to do. So absolutely a solid call out on this one. I'm curious. My prediction from the previous game smashed immediately. So I am going to truck it to you. You got to try and navigate this. How are we feeling about seeing these two comps in action?
Speaking of two comps and speaking of White Lotus and the other team, I believe I'm still gonna go with White Lotus. Like, after watching them team fight. Oh, wait, that's Aurora top. For a second, I thought that's Aurora. Okay, I lost it when it comes to top lane. I thought it's Aurora top, Aurora mid, and Ari mid. So I was just playing around. Okay, so you're having Ari, blah blah blah. You're having Aurora, blah blah blah. But actually, Aurora versus Renekton. Huh, it feels like it's not easy matchup. It's a skilled matchup as always. You know, a lot of fighters in top lane. It's Aurora is not a fighter, but she counts as a fighter mage when she's playing in top. She's not gonna be going for the full AP build like the burst AP build as she plays in mid lane. But I believe she's gonna be playing a lot on side lanes.
Yep, playing to those sides, and I would like to give the shout out. Arashi in game 1 getting my MVP, picking up a mage who has even more threat with a lead. He was able to get it done on Ornn. He might have my vote of confidence to pick up this Aurora, but if it gets behind, you don't have a fallback pattern. There ain't no redemption Aurora coming to save you.
FP actually, that reminds me when you're not losing the game, but when you're low when it comes to resources, you can, or like what actually happens, that you use. Wait, guys, come on, it's blind pick. Just go on, start the game, and yeah, it's fine. Just start the game. You already drafted. Uh, huh? Okay, it's whatever. So let's get back into our point. When you're, oh, they are in. No way, no way, guys. It doesn't matter. Just play the game, please. Okay, they left. They left the lobby.
Behind the scenes, for those of you getting a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, there has been certain members leaving themselves the rift. There was a lobby made, lobby left, so we will be on a bit of a delay. But in the meantime, do you have a preference for these two teams?
I like White Lotus team fight. It's organized, and he can, as you have mentioned before, they're having a really good big composition. When you have the Malignance completed with Ari, when you have the two items completed with Varus, you know that they're gonna be having a really good damage output in team fights. And I believe if they really wanna win this game, they have to just like pick, like have one pick, and then play around the 4v5 composition. They have it really good, and they can just have an easier way of winning team fights if they have the numbers advantage.
Yep, can absolutely be one of those pick and then eventually overrun you when you have the numbers. In the meantime, unfortunately, we'll be chucking this to a short break while they sort themselves out because we still don't even have a lobby going. So we will be going to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 coming to you in just a second.
in.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Merc Academy Emerald Edition Game 2 en route. We're looking to push ourselves into a 1-1 for Ragnarok, or Lotus trying to make ourselves a 2-0 affair in the best of 5. Sekyo, how we doing, boss?
How you doing, my friend? Sandbag. Actually, um, I really like both teams from the first game, the drafts, everything, and right now I'm looking forward to see how can you actually come back from the first loss. Like if you look at their draft, you should just play around. Yeah, it's Alistair.
But
You
it's
know.
toxic as well. And the guy was emoting on Recon. Now he has the best emote in the game. It's impossible not to cheer for this guy right now.
I mean, like, it, I believe if I'm gonna be toxic in this game, I'm just gonna use this skin, walk into the lane, and just use the bolt. Like, no, I'm not fighting, I'm not doing anything. Um, I'm just here.
Just here for
Look
the
at him again.
vibes and the
Yeah.
cowbell. Absolutely glorious. I I don't expect there to be an absolute ton of action early on. These aren't the
hmm
most volatile of lanes, so I expect the junglers to be the ones trying to wreak havoc.
Oh, actually, speaking of the junglers, and speaking of you're playing with Belvis, so basically you need to get those word grabs into your back pocket. You have to take the Rift Herald, which is gonna give you more resets, more damage to be dealing with in team fights in whatever picks that you're looking for. That's like the core of Belvith. Both junglers are moving towards bot side, which means we might have some action, some shenanigans. Minute uh, 3.5.
Yep. Match clears. Toxic it has 3 stacks of the concussive blows, and he's still walking forwards, knowing he gets level 2 first, trying to find the pull and the knock back onto Eden. He doesn't end up sending either one of them. Toxic just walking forward and lets him live combo onto the Braum for a couple hundred HP, but doesn't send the 2-man pull.
Actually, I thought that he's just gonna go for the back line or like you just go for Kaisa. He had a really good angle on her, but he kept waiting and he know that whenever you get the engage, you
Right,
know they're
ticking.
gonna
It's
turn
going to be
on Varus.
concussive blows onto the backlines. Peachy Pixel eating away, trying to get the overcharge damage onto Toxic, but here comes the rest of the Varus damage. You can't walk so far forwards. Braum passive, stacking Plasma procced. Barry's going to be absorbing the worst of it. Toxic 200 HP to his name. Flashing forwards. Acathian Rain pouring back in the damage, but it's Alistar who gets the
You
first
got the
one.
heal.
Toxic and Slayer get the outplay in the bot lane. 2v2 supremacy heading the way of the Lotus.
For a second, I thought that Slayer is actually dead, but then you got the barrier, you get the damage, and also the healing from Alistair was just insane. After you get the shutdown or like the first blood of the game, you know that whatever kills you have, you get your passive brought in, and now Braum is out.
Braum is dead. Hex Flash for the outplay once again. Toxic and Slayer picking up the first 2 kills of the game in the bot lane.
He's super toxic was his gameplay. He's just saying like he's Burma trolling your enemy and he plays it really good. I don't feel like that's some Emerald gameplay.
Oh, the
I really
question
like it.
mark.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Toxic. Come
I
on,
like it.
man.
I like it. I like it. He's living up to his name.
I mean, bro, you load into a game with the username of Toxic, you gotta do a little bit of yappage, and enemy team, mute this guy. There's gonna be more where that came from. Abtello smiting away, but here comes 3 members to descend upon the jungler. He's got nowhere left to run. Flashing to the other side of the Severing Bolt. Nice little backstep. Not electing to flash forward to the other side. Surely he can't get away with this. Linking up with Arashi, who's got the ease to slow him down. Waldo giving chase, but here comes the blast cone. Wind become lightning, finds a slow. Arashi's gonna be stalling out for now. Here comes Beer with re-engage, finding an orbit deception to push this Belveth out. It's a 3v3 long fight. Charm goes wide. Abtello once again throwing that spear forwards. Audacious charge on into the Renekton. More damage, more sparkles. Feed a warfare claimed on the long chase in the top lane jungle. Looking for a re-engage in the bot lane. Toxic's got that trample stacking. Here they go with one more engage. Slayer stepping forwards. Peachy Pixel down to 300 HE. Piercing arrow finds the mark. It can do no wrong on both sides of the map. It is Lotus winning everywhere.
They are just playing in their playgrounds. I don't feel like this is some Emerald gameplay. I believe it's a lot higher. It's kind of low diamond,
Looking for a dive
maybe
on the
low.
Grom. Don't let him get any
It's hard.
XP
It's
here.
hard. It's hard.
Piercing arrow's not going
I
to be
don't.
enough damage. He does connecting, but stepping forward for the auto, you can't give him the free right click killing spree to the Varus. He's 3-0 in 5 minutes.
I can't even speak. Okay. Well, I don't think that Lotus are in some sort of way can lose this game. Why White Lotus? Because basically you have your Alistair engaged. You have, I don't know, Slayer's damage. Slayer's got 3 kills. Also, you're winning in all sides, and the the play itself when it happened in top sides, but I'm not gonna be speaking on bot right now. Like when you just juggled for the BlizzCon, when you just tried to play it, when you had like 3 members rocking one to death, like they got the Renekton. I believe that that's no way that's an Emerald play style, or like that's an Emerald gameplay.
They seem like they're wired in on this one. They're playing well as a team. They're finding outplays. Top lane is bleeding CS more than you can even count, right? This is what, 20 CS. He's going to be able to get a couple back once this wave crashes. But gold lead already extending into the 3Ks in 6 minutes. That is outrageous pace.
That's brutal. That's a lot. You can't just have this much advantage right now. Ari have the Spirit Rush. She can take the 1v1. Speaking of which, your enemy mid laner doesn't even have
Toxic.
mana.
Hex Flash, he
He's
can
in.
headbutt pole. There's no outplaying. Dove underneath your tower. No refuge for Kakarot. He's going to be hitting the fountain for 10 seconds.
Oh, Arashi actually can 1v2 on top side. He got the ultimate. Belveth. She's full HP, but the Reni is very low.
Down a level, no ultimate. I'm not sure you like this fight here. 2v1 potential is high. You see him on the minimap running up to the top side of the map. Arashi has flash, has R. Movement tools available. Trying to find that stun. Waldo down to 300 HP. Throwing out the weirding. Here comes the damage. Waldo push
He can't
back.
get out.
Alcove Gaming, level 7, level 5. Do you have the damage? Trying to sidestep that W. Arashi, you gotta try and flash it. Auto attacks fly through. Q damage. Doesn't end up spending the spell and simply gets beat to death. You had the summoner and you held it. Greed is a deadly sin for a reason. Aurora down on the top lane.
I don't know. Arashi tried to get into the edge of the in the top side of his ultimate, but now 2v1 in top side. I don't think that Zen will continue playing in top. Speaking of what happened in top, he actually tried to get out of his ultimate so he can kill the Renekton, but like he kinda misstepped. Ultimate
Chains of
toxic hits
Corruption,
out.
big lockdown on a Peachy Pixel who's able to get her way to safety. Slipping on out is this Kaisa, but this wave crashed and you can't stay. This will be another piercing arrow. They walk up and Slayer can't miss. Finding another piercing arrow and another wave denied.
Abatello using the ultimate here in top side, forcing the Void Grubs,
No
and
ult,
Perez in the
1/3
team
HP
fight.
flashing forwards. Kakarot's gonna be auto attack to death. Here comes the spiraling despair. Traded on out 1-for-1 so far. Giving the reset over to this Belveth. Beer giving chase. Arashi's gonna be chaining on in. Solo lanes gang up on a level 5 crocodile. He's gonna be shoes soon. Conqueror or not. The croc falls. Renekton is gonna be chased down. Here comes a little bit more from Lego Alien, who's able to find the knock-up. Q to safety. Braum to cover the retreat.
The control that White Lotus actually have in this team fight, what not in team fight, in the game overall, like they're controlling vision in top side, they're controlling vision in bot side, they're controlling the team fights, they're winning 2v2s in bot, they're winning 3v3s in top, and 3v2s they're actually winning it. Like, guys, this this is illegal to play versus this team in this league.
They have simply done better. That's all it is. Everywhere that you look across Summoner's Rift, 4,000 gold abounds, and when you haven't even hit the 10-minute mark, there's only been one Drake seen in this game, and from here on out, top lane's not going to get any better easier. This is meant to be a bully Renekton, and he is looking at a sword, a skirt, and a pair of shoes on his feet. Like it's just desperate up there.
Speaking of being desperate, I really like the charm landing from Ari in mid lane. Um, I would really ask if they can check the players. I don't believe that they are in this
Flash charm,
elo.
good response. Kakarot reflexes, saving his life.
Again, I don't believe that after what I saw this show from Ari, I don't believe that those players are emerald. Maybe they are emerald right now, but or those accounts are emerald. But I believe that those players at least they were in D3, D2. Maybe one of them actually did hit master and just like, okay, I'm a resigned ex semi pro player right now, and I'm just gonna chill in some community tournaments. Maybe happens.
Residing. I mean, they're
Yeah.
absolutely performing here. A little bit of a dash forwards from Waldo. He's still down a level despite getting a level up mid fight. So you're not going to be taking that on. He's got Merc Treads to work with, and he's simply going to be putting the MR to full effect.
Actually, look at the Doran's shield and the long sword. It feels like not Pantheon, but it feels like you're from the movie 300, and you're
Yeah, it's like
just right.
Spartan. Very, very Spartan build.
Yeah, that's Spartan build. Like Sparta, you're trying to fight. You're just a Renekton alligator in top side
Flashing
using your
forwards, does he have
ultimate.
the engage? He throws out the Dominus, gets half of Arashi's HP, but that is simply the end of his burst combo. And Arashi's gonna auto attack him in response. Throwing out an ult of their own, snapping back to the other side. Auto attack, one more fade away. Does he have the move speed to close it out? Flashing forwards gets it done in the 1v1. Lego Alien trying to find a knockup of their own. Arashi, no flash, no ult. What tools do you have left? Waiting on that W to try and find the stealth. Veth trades, and the jungler is able to get one in response topside.
1 for 1. When you're playing a 2v1, you can actually see that Zinzao is looking for the cross map play. He saw Belvedere on top, so you're just trying to invade, you're trying to force your bot enemy to not play the game as usual or like as their confidence and trading. So they just left the turret. They know the turret is very low HP and they're not gonna even try to do anything. And right now, Firefox might help you to survive.
Searing Bolt connecting, spiraling despair onto Beer. The ult pop kills. Mid jungle link up to kill the Ahri. They lose the tower in the bot lane, but there is life left as they battle back. Toxic on a collision course. Headbutting Belvat the way, trying to provide as much space for this Drake while the jungler whittles it down.
I just want to watch Toxic. Oh, he left the build. Never mind.
Eden said, all right, get out of here. You can have the Drake, but you cannot sit here and emote. Kakarot's got the move speed and will simply escape the walk down to the gank chain.
of corruption?
Corruption, though, flashing forward. Right as I say that, on Carnation, he finds the spell. Into the backline's Peachy Pixel, going for the assassination. Slayer, barrier, flash. Does he have the piercing arrow damage? Kig executing him down. Peachy Pixel is going to be traded AD for AD. Toxic, resetting. Arashi's going to be doing battle up in the top lane. It's 1-for-1 ADs apiece. Beer here to reinforce, but no ult, no flash means no playmaking.
Donating a lot of shutdowns. He had a shutdown on Slayer, he had a shutdown on Arashi, he had a shutdown on Blur, and he lost all of them one after one after one. You feel like the other team is actually trying to get back dominance. Bragged in top side, but no damage coming
No
from Arashi.
damage. He's throwing out these dominances left, right, and center, trying to find the rage. Arashi up 2 levels, so maybe there's a re-engage. Headbutt for denial, and Toxic ends up taking that one away. That's just playing with your food at that point. That's just brutal.
It's just, yeah, like still got Arashi have his ultimate, and nah, I'm not just gonna proc it. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna get more blades, get more gold in your back pocket. Toxic is still here, and
Toxic.
Arashi.
This is rat behavior, throwing out the ignite. He stayed forever. Arashi is maybe in a bit of fire on the trade kill and gets the reset. Lego Alien! He gets it in the 2v1 top side, making things happen. Eden's going to be taking 2/3 of his HP, and it's Lego Alien. Belveth coming online to really patch up the holes in this ship.
He tried to get back into Lego Alien because basically those 3 kills were onto him, Arashi. But like you had the Alistair, you had the setup. I don't think that you lined up your skills at a really good point, like using the Bullivisor, the Alistair's Q, using the W, using your skills into the CC chain. You lost it a bit. You had like you were overconfident that you're gonna win, so that ended up to you losing your life again and again and again in topside.
A little bit of hubris. That might actually be the cause here. Is this Brahm's doing a good job at eating. the rest of these with Unbreakable, but now he doesn't have the shield to throw up. The door is going to be forced in flash. Here comes Arashi's once again return visit. Lego Aliens trying to find a little bit more move speed on out. Arashi taking auto attacks. They have the gap closers. Q is not in time. The Locket is here to save Toxic, keeping his top laner still standing. Little Waldo going to be fighting his way on into the bottom side of your screen. It's an execution. Barris finds the hard enemy AD. Piercing arrow, just sidestepped by Eden. A little bit of fancy footwork from the support. And Toxic looking for more. Hex Flash is available. Trying to find yet more engages. Waiting for headbutt, pull, combo through. Trample, connecting, bot lane, executing. Slayer picks it up, smited down to find more slows. Slayer backpedaling, Toxic waiting for the rotation. Does he have the disengage? Piercing arrow again, and Varus Alley. They continue to fight. That is 9, 1, and 11. They continue to make plays.
Toxic and Slayer, your bot lane. White Lotus, those are your carries in this game. Actually, they're just pulling plays in top and mid in anywhere. Speaking of plays, let's see what's happening in top side.
He has Slice, Flash, Dice, so much distance covered. Renekton's able to walk that one off.
Yeah, it's like half of the lane. And right now, Arashi is just like bullying him under the turret. 1Q!
Luden's proc. And like you said, 1Q does it flash forced from the Spirit Rush. And Arashi will not be left out of the discussion in this game.
Arashi is just mad after what happened to him in the early game. A lot of focus. Even though like you ganked him like 9 to 8 times, he died 3 times in the game, and he's still 1v1ing the Renekton. This poor crocodile, I feel like that's baby crocodile. You know, when you watch National Geographic, that's that's the baby crocodile. That's the start of his life, and I believe Arashi is the big fish that caught him when he got out of his egg.
But yeah, this crocodile's looking pretty endangered. I'm not gonna lie to you. 0, 6, and 1. He's got Merktreads, Caulfields. I understand why the damage did what it did to this poor little crocodile.
He's like he's not out of the equation. He's out of I don't know, like everything. I'm trying to find a nice word, but I can't. Like if I said what was in mind, it would have been brutal. So like yeah.
Here. Hang on, Charm going wide. Xin Zhao is not able to find the mark either. No flanking members. It's a 4v4 top laners heading
Toxic,
towards their own lane. Toxic trying to find this pull. Abtello is going to be rooted up once more. They're finding good chip damage. Throwing out that Crescent Guard very late. Re-engage potential is available. Eden's going to connect with a Q. This Xin Zhao is going to be popped up as here we go. Toxic's going to be jumping in the middle of 4 people. Unbreakable Will Charm connecting onto this way. The flank from the Ahri is beautiful. Slayer untouched. They line up and pierce them through. Beer's got another charge of Spirit Rush. Another charm. The DPS is flying from these carries. Both CC's land, able to step aside from that Void Seeker, Beer, and Perichichi. It's the Kaisa who gets the 1v1 killer instinct up against the enemy mid. Re-engaging with Shelly now. He's going on a bit of a Tokyo Drift. Waldo is going to find himself very critically endangered as they continue to find kill after kill after kill. Lego Alien waiting for a re-engage once more.
Hailing from under the sky.
It's not enough. Kaisa's got a barrier to work with. It gets one in trade. Quickly stuffed. No montage to be had. Godlike for the Varus as the TP is here to eventually reinforce.
The Thunder the Sky from your Xin Zhao actually gave him a lot of sustainability in the last team fight. You thought that Lego actually got the kill. Speaking of thing, Toxic!
This Alistair is relentless, legendary status for the marksman of the Lotus.
23 kills in 90 minutes. It's a lot. And like having 17 out of your just moving around the map, being able to be up for your team anytime that they need it, besides like having Arashi just solo killing the crocodile on top side, I believe that White Lotus are trying to, they are not trying to win this game really hard, they just won the game, like 12 kills, terminance, everything, and Slayer's hand is just brutal.
Last going in with complete reckless abandon to take away a couple of the mini Krugs. Beer is feeling this game.
Eh, Let's get to game three, I guess. This game is just it's over.
It's
Do you
likely
can
to be
see like a way
over.
out? Can you see a way out?
I mean, the way out is Belveth. Unfortunately, it is try and go late in this game and try and play for the Belveth. But right now, experimental hex plate has been purchased from this Varus, so he's got a little bit more HP to work with. Abtello might find himself stunned up, and indeed does, down to half HP himself, but not much more to be had. And with so little vision, no way of knowing where reinforcements were.
I feel like this team, like White Lotus, they should play around two lanes. I believe it's mid and top. Not you should not keep pressuring the bot inhibitor. You should just go for the Atakan, get your mid pushed, and play around your T2 top side. That's the way you can easily just get the snowballing in and finish the game as smooth as you can, or just walk as five, force any fight, and play around in mid lane.
Yep,
That's
just keep
an
knocking
option
down
also.
these towers as they seem to heed the advice, as there's going to be another charm landing bot side. Waldo's forced into his ultimate once more, and Atakan started up right as you require.
Poor Crocodile, actually. He's really poor right now. 50-50. Belveth looking for
Alias
the
might
steal.
fight. Atacon going the way of the Xin Zhao. Now, what does the fight look like? Abtello able to re-engage onto his own jungle menace. Lego Aliens, the last vestige of damage. Alistair tanking 3 on his own. Unbreakable will for the moment. CC'd, locked down. Chains of Corruption connecting. His bot laner here to reinforce it. It's a 3v1 though. Varus is able to be killed. Bottom of your screen, Renekton dies, but Varus gets the kill. Shut down with that bolt from the Hui. He's able to get some more CC ticking on through. Not much mana to work with, and Abtello will simply
The
walk him down
lottery.
topside. You've got nowhere left to go. Charm goes wide. Beer doesn't care. Arashi picking up a killing spree.
It's the slaughtery, my friend. He got bodies thrown left and right. And as always, Slayer and Toxic are just popping off in the last team fight. Toxic, as you mentioned, was just like tanking three members. Like, what are you doing? You're just zoning three members. You're tanking a lot of damage. And on the other end, you can see your team is just taking picks, having their upper advantage and top side. But right now, I guess the ultimate from Zen is just here to give him the defensive stats. If they actually try to turn on them, I believe that they can win it, but they should commit into the call. But I believe it's better to just run away. You have your tempo and be cool, play around your top side again for the Baron.
Red Pings are flying out because Toxic wants an engage and he gets what he wants. Lego Alien forced to flash away. Toxic is chasing on his lonesome. Alistair with bloodlust in his eyes finds another pole. Braum is going to be knocked out of the blast cone thanks to that headbutt. It's a Braum at the end of the day. They do not find Chains of Corruption. 4 members pile in for enemy support. Door will be dropped. 3 more kills going their way.
Poor mustache. That's just a poor mustache right now, Eden, with the bra. Like, give some respect to the guy. Like, he have a really huge mustache. I believe he have like the better mustache out of us three. I don't know about you, Sandbag, but I believe he got a really big one.
He's got a solid his mustache game on point, but when your support can sit there and emote while your mid laner dumps an ult on him, that feels like a pretty poor game state to be looking at.
It is, and now the soul. Actually, I thought it's gonna be the soul point, but you're having a soul in the next minute. You can have the burn. You can have both. I don't believe that anyone can stop White Lotus in this current state.
I think White Lotus can stop White Lotus, and that's about it. If they
Oh,
start
true.
doing absolutely outrageous things, they can find ways of getting caught out, and there is pick potential. I don't think that's going to end up happening as Waldo is currently being chased down by the Alistair going for the execute and will get it off. Alistair not able to connect in any sort of meaningful way.
Imagine that a cow actually making a crocodile kill himself and topside. just saying
No.
that, that's
Not
not
a
what
sentence
happens
I
in
was
the wild.
expecting is we're getting a fight coming through. This is about the best chance that you got. 4v2. Maybe your pick is happening here. Do they have the damage? Belvat down. They can't even get the Zen. Finally traded out jungle for jungle. But the cavalry arrives. Arashi picking up a triple kill. It's an ace completion. They threw the sink at Abtello. And at what cost? 25 minutes. They get aced.
You got a kill? Actually, no. You got each and every one of your team out of the equation, out of the game, out of everything. The damage coming out from Arashi just opening the ultimate is outrageous. And right now, I believe it's Baron. No need for the soul, and you can just march into the base and get us to the third game. And hopefully, we can see some good answers after this game.
Maybe a bit deeper into Fearless, things will look differently, as they're going to be letting the Baron live for Abtello's respawn. Good guy teammates making sure Zin is able to pick up the purple too.
Respect, that's the respect that you need when you're having like this game state, 4-3 and 15. That's the score of your jungler. And oh wait, they're still going for the soul, huh? I mean, it's just for securing stats, like because why
I
not?
mean, it's insurance. At the end of the day, is it necessary? No. Is it worth doing? Probably. Pick that one up, and you, as you said, you can simply hold hands as 5 members, right-click enemy nexus down mid lane, and it doesn't feel like there's much of a defense to be had.
Actually, I don't like insurance companies. They have the ways of scamming you. Speaking of insurance, um, right now they are ensuring that they can win the game, but like uh, they're not trying to make a contract with any company, so that's good for them.
Nope, they're not looking to go anywhere near the insurance company. They want to take this one straight to the bank. Meanwhile, Arashi might be caught out. AD and jungle linking up, but the burst damage gets the one shot off. Arashi's able to find another slip into stealth. The Ocean Soul ticking. They're able to make it happen, dashing forwards with the Spirit Rush. They find 1v2s on both sides of the map, and there's no fight left in the Berserkers. They're all out of steam as their base crumbles around them. 4 dead members. Arashi is able to survive the onslaught. Top lane, we're in purple. We're going to game 3 in just a second.
Even Toxic got a double kill, and right now, minute 27, we're gonna be having the final kill of the game, and the Nexus explosion. Oh no, they're just hunting the guy. Arashi's just playing with his food.
He's just messing with him at this point. It's all she wrote. Game 3 en route. They get one final kill to pad the number. 39 of them to be exact. It is White Lotus going 2-0 up and putting themselves on match point.
And as always, of course, Mr. Toxic is just using his pull at the end of the game. It sounded really good with the victory screen. Yeah, you have
That was a
nothing to
dinner.
say.
That was a dinner bell if I've ever heard one. If your AD carry is that fed, that's a dinner bell.
You actually that fit that he got the Omen and he got like some magic resist stuff. He got the small skirt and wait, what else does he have? Yeah, actually a lot of stats. Like it doesn't matter right now what's the damage outcome that he can give because basically you're tanky, you have damage, you have attack speed, you have everything that you need in your hand, and also you have a big cow. So, which you have been milking him, it's whatever, the whole game, making the
you
kills,
you
making.
can't milk those. That
Hmm.
is that is basically the wrap up on this one. We are going to be checking it into a quick break to get ourselves set up for game 3. Can the Berserkers find their footing and surge back on in? Or are we looking at a quick afternoon for White Lotus? Join us after the break, and we'll see you for game 3.
Out. Tu tu tururut.
Mana.
Tu turutu.
Mana
Are we
mana.
out or no? Hello? Tu tu tururut 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 tururut. Like, I'm not sure if we like. Can I speak right now? Right. Yeah. Okay. So we're out.
All right, hot.
Okay, okay.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. White Lotus taking on Valhalla Berserkers, currently sitting 2-0 up on the side of Carnation, looking to make it a swift day. Draft on screen. Seikyo, how do you look to deal with this onslaught of White Lotus members?
White Lotus members are just actually super incredible. They have really good synergy. When I saw the clip of Alistair when that got dropped in the chat, like it was just hilarious, jump scare, Renekton. But this Renekton was not like, I don't know, that won't even scare the little girl. She will be laughing. And you know, it's not a crocodile. Right now we can enter the draft for the third game, which is I can see that they're still focusing into the enemy jungle. They respect him. They ban the Poppy, so I believe that they are going to play some of those champions that dashes a lot. Speaking of which,
Speaking of Dash a Lot champions, Blue One and Bess are going to be locked in for White Lotus Carnation. And if you've been performing on Ornn, you get upgraded to the Aurora. When you perform on the Aurora, you get upgraded to the Ambessa. Your team trusts you to pilot. You know, he's like, okay, he's informed today. Let's give him a little bit of a solo queue monster and Ambessa lock in.
for sure, he did his best in the first two games.
Ooh.
Now the counter pick is going for I don't know, the Jax. He got he's a lot better in trades, but Ambessa got like the AoE damage in the minions, and also she can just survive the laning phase. I don't think that Jax is one of those champions that can win into Ambessa that hard in early game. And when you see Arashi in the previous game, you know that he's one of those guys that steps up into his pick.
Yeah, he's able to squeeze the majority of his leads out of laning phase. So Ambessa, who doesn't have the strongest, he's going to be able to create a little bit up in the top lane as the Lucian going to be locked in for the 80 carry of the Berserkers. Peachy Pixie was able to accrue leads twice, get a nice assassination in that mid fight on the Kaisa. Jinx was ahead. And then it feels like the world just comes crashing down on top of the bot laner. So Lucian with a little bit more independence, maybe some playmaking to be had.
Aphelios. That's one of those picks that we have not seen in a long time. I'm not sure if you have seen it, Samek, but like not Ambess, I'm sorry. Aphelios is one of those champions who needs to play. You should like play this champion for like at least 200 games. I highly recommend you to start playing him in solo queue first game. Don't worry, the community will be super friendly with you.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Super friendly community, to be sure, for sure. As the Akali is going to be locked in for the mid lane of Lotus.
As long as you meet all.
Slash Deafen is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I will say that much. Lucian going to be paired up with the all-familiar Nami. Melio was starting to take a little bit of precedence, but instead, the old-fashioned, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lucian Nami trying to take over this game.
Hopefully we don't see like the fish like getting cooked in the bot lane, you know, having your barbecue party up. You need just some early game jungler, and you know this barbecue is gonna be really hot into this Nami. I believe you need something to pair with the Aphelios. Not a lot of engage tools are still up, I believe. I don't know. We did it. Yeah, we saw Leona. We didn't see Rel. I don't think that Rel is really good.
Leona
into
Rel
Nami.
both up. Leona Rel both up because the first game was the Lulu pick.
Oh, I got confused. I got confused with the last game. Last day, like yesterday, we have seen a lot of Leona, and like my brain just lagged.
No, Leona's still up and a solid answer into the Nami. It feels like they have made the adaptation to say, all right, if we're playing through bot, we'll play through bot hard. But what I fear will happen is what happened in the previous two games where you get a lead and then you can't play it. The team fighting is simply superior for the Carnation side. And I feel like Lucian Nami might run into that even harder.
I love the fact that he's gonna play Aphelios Thresh, which is actually one of those combos that we have never seen in a long time. Basically, a Furious Thresh, you can play it in a lot of play styles. You can play the Lantern Thresh, you can play the aggressive Thresh, you can play the neutral lane Thresh. So a lot of ways that you can play through those players or those picks.
Um,
It's super awkward. Vladimir, huh?
Mr. Seiko,
Lo- Mr.
who,
Sandbag?
who's who's the jungler?
Oh,
There
no!
we go.
Oh!
Penny
Huh?
dropping. I was wondering if you were going to be able to bite on that. Akali, Vladimir, and Bessa. One
Ambessa?
of those will be hitting Hamps. It's Mbessa in my head.
Yeah, me either. It's
I
Ambessa.
don't
I don't think
know
Akali can
how I
even
feel.
clear.
When we're okay,
That-
so when we were behind the scenes, I was saying game 3 usually gets goofy after a 2-0 because the team who's winning gets creative. They get a little bit silly goofy. And Best of Jungle definitely fits into silly goofy mode. That's what I will say.
It does. It actually does. And like the Vladimir in top, like we have never seen him since he got nerfed. The W got nerfed with a lot of healing, and like, huh. I'm biting my lips right now. I don't know how can you. It's winnable. Like as long as your top lane is winning, your bot lane is winning 2v2s, and you're winning 1v1s in top lane, you can just win the game all over the place. But like Ambessa Jungle has something else. Ambessa Jungle.
I personally love the creativity that comes out. I'm not sure I've ever actually seen it. Whether or not it's been good or bad is unimportant to me because I don't even think I've seen it. So I have no idea how this matchup goes.
It's good. It's good. Like I have played Ambessa Jungle and I have played Yon Jungle, so in some ranked games you might have just bumped into me. Hopefully that you can be supportive with your jungler and not just flame the hell out of him. So Ambessa, when I played it, it was like before a lot of nerfs. So Ambessa have a really good clear when it comes to jungling, and it won't be as it won't match Vi for sure when it comes to the clearing speed because Ambessa doesn't have the buff over the jungle creeps like Vi. Vi gets 180% damage plus into jungle creeps that doesn't appear to be here with Ambessa. But Ambessa got the got nothing to be honest. She got the shield and AoE damage from the Qs.
I mean,
That's it.
AoEs, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
because
yeah.
in my head, you've got solid AoE abilities. So you're able to continuously like knock camps down, which feels relatively required. You don't have any monster mods to my knowledge. I mean, maybe Q does. See, in my head, I think Q has a monster mod though. I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely. Give me a second. I'm gonna be pulling up the wiki because in my head,
You
I
can
think
check it,
Q
but I
has
don't
a monster mod.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I believe that Ambessa got only like who would ever play Ambessa in jungle? Like when right employees were thinking of Ambessa, they thought, okay, so we
Cunning
need a
Sweep and Bessa Q against monsters. Cunning Sweep deals 125 bonus physical damage.
all right, you win. All right,
Why
you
did
win.
I know that? Like, I know I've been jungling some stupid stuff recently, but in my head, she has monster mods. Right. Okay. So, actually, I've got a little bit more faith in that. Maybe it is a little bit less silly goofy and a little bit more just creativity picked up.
I mean, we're just watching both teams getting creative, I guess, having small amount of time till we enter the game, and on paper, like when you look at the champions, not looking at the names, I will go with uh, the red team's draft all day long. But when you add the names, when you add the what we have seen in the previous matches, I believe that White Lotus got a little bit like I would say they got comfort with the third game, but I still think that they're gonna win this game 3-0 the whole series.
expect it to. If they're performing like they were performing in the previous couple of games, they're certainly riding the momentum. They're certainly riding the wave on him. So, what I would leave you to say is, where do you look to crack this open? White Lotus Carnation's team fight has been nasty. So if you're this Berserker side, where are you looking to attack? Where are you looking to exploit? How do you look to begin this upset in this game 3?
I'm gonna start focusing bot lane. Because basically Toxic is in their head right now. Question marks. Alistair's using the ching 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 for dinner. It was dinner time early on, so with Toxic, with Slayer, I believe it's gonna be always coming to bot side. I believe we're gonna see 2v2s in bot, and I think that Aphelios Thresh, which is like, that's hard to think about it, but Aphelios Thresh can win 2v2s in this matchup because of the names, not the champions.
I think so. They're also more than comfortable just scaling on out. I am extremely curious to see what a team fight looks like, because it is not often that Elysian has to deal with Ambessa and Akali and Vladimir diving him. Typically, you pick any two of those members. Right? It's double dive comp, the solo lanes go in, J4 or something. But you're taking effectively 3 solo laners and hooking them directly onto the Lucian. He's gonna have his work cut out in this game.
Yeah, like just imagine, okay, one time you die with public execution, you get Akali's all out, and it's all out, right? The ultimate?
Akali's? Which one?
All out?
Ambessa?
No, Ambessa is it's public execution, but Akali
Correct.
is not,
Perfect.
not all out.
Actually,
Perfect,
it's hilarious.
perfect.
Perfect execution, to my knowledge.
Yeah. What did I say? Was it perfect execution or? Oh, I said all out. Never mind. My bad. So you have those. Yeah. You have 2 ultimates that's actually dashing towards you, Akali and Ambessa. So as Lucian, as one of the community, you have the short sword, not the sword, like the short gun. You have the culling. You have everything in your back pocket. I believe you're gonna get fried, you and your fishing boat side.
Yeah. These team fights are gonna be absolutely psychotic. Vi, Akali, Ambessa, Vladimir, everybody just sailing in. The longest range champion of the game is Aphelios, and even he can just opt to straight up fist fight you when you get those shurikens flying out. Once he has the chakrams on that white gun, this game might just completely deteriorate, and I am so excited. If I'm the Berserkers fan here, I would love for them to be able to step up and push us on into the series, because right now, White Lotus, they're looking like a bit of a juggernaut.
Actually, the Berserkers right now, they have a really good chance into into stepping up in the game. You have a really good composition. If you look at their composition, they should win bot. They have the tournament skin from Rise, which you can actually only get if you won one of those tournaments back in time when we used to play on one of those sites. I can't really remember its name, but this skin is only available if you win a tournament. So this guy is really good into Rise, and he wins tournaments. So count him. Also having the mid jungle synergy.
The Riot skin, right? That's the one where you had to win a Riot sponsored event. Triumphant Rise for Kakarot. Old guard player, absolutely legacy, and he's gonna have to pull out some old ancient technology to be able to pull his team on into this one. I'm excited, Sekyo. Game 3 en route, looking to head on into Summer's Rift.
So actually, I really wanna take a word of you. Like, who do you think can actually pick up the base of the game when it comes to red side?
I mean, Lucianami. 10 times out of 10. You're looking to bully out this Slayer. For all intents and purposes, he can walk to lane with the Cole. And nothing changes. He's going to just try and slow roll as best as he can. Just try and farm up. Let the solo lanes do the silly fighting. So Peachy Pixie and Eden, they've gotten gold leads. They've gotten leverage. They've gotten pressure. But then they've gotten blown up. So can you try and avoid that final step and really look to leverage a lead? Pixie, Can you get the lead and recreate the magic? And then can you continue that triumph?
Actually, that reminds me of something like Pixie had everything in the first game. You had Lulu, you had Shen. What else? Like you had a lot of shields. Ah, you had Rammus as your frontliner. I don't really like the Rammus pick, but like it is what it is. He's still counts as a really good frontliner. So you had all of that, and you were just like the president of the your team, and you didn't have that chance to clutch the game. Playing Lucian Nami is still a power pick. Hopefully, they can step up into this game.
It's old, but it seems like it checks out. Counter Strike is going to be stepped away from here as Abtello getting a whole host of damage onto Jax. Even the flash might put him in some trouble. 5-point strike. They end up not going forwards. Nobody willing to put their lives on the line, and Waldo getting chunked to half.
He needs to recall. Tell me that you're not trying to leash Vi. He's just
Oh,
moving
he's
for
just
his
going to face
top,
check.
getting impushed.
It's a
Oh
Vladimir
boy,
at the end of the day. It's
it's fine.
not the most fearsome of face
It's
checks,
not
but
Ambessa.
still chunked to half HP.
Yeah, I believe it's only gonna help the Vladimir to survive more in the landing phase and not getting doved much with the Jax capability of doing it. And Jax actually have a really good pickup when it comes to playing with the Duran's shield, which is gonna help you a lot when it comes to sustainability and getting back the HP that he lost. I feel right now Vladimir is just gonna give him more HP.
Probably proccing it for more HP than the Q is worth out of those auto attacks. But in the bot lane, Eden and Pixie continuing to pick up pressure, and they are going to win that race to level 2.
Yeah. And both junglers are currently walking towards bot side. I'm so surprised with the clear how that Ambissa is really not that far behind in clearance. I believe she's kinda low in HP, but she still can keep up with Vi, which is really interesting. She's actually starting a lot of camps before Vi, which is gonna help her a lot. And I kinda believe that she's gonna be faster than Vi. Like, look at this, you're attacking in like a large scale of group camp, and you're just like moving around to your red. Please tell me you're gonna skip the red and go to the red after you take the Krugs. Okay, never mind. He's not going for the normal clear.
Oh, going to be hitting that red buff and just straight clear all the way down the line. In the meantime, bot laners are aware of what's happening. You see the red ward on that Raptor camp was able to get the information. So they know it's a match start. Both these bot laners have the information. Toxic and Slayer having the push in the meantime.
And right now you can see the mid lane getting pushed up by Ryze. It's so clear, Ryze is a ranged AP mid laner, ranged mage, can get the first push, and then we can see that the scuttler on both side, I believe we can see a team fight pulling off here, but never mind, it just got caught from the Ambessa.
Secured
Oh
dark
boy.
passage on forwards with that lantern. Beer's got a 5-point strike with Kakarot's name on it, forcing the flash phase rush. Rise is able to get out of town.
Bot
Face
lane.
checking forwards. Peachy Pixie's going to find some damage more with the relentless pursuit.
Slayer?
Here comes Vi to re-engage Slayer, dashing away. In the meantime, Pixie's got their number. Barrier baited and spent. First blood over to Lucian.
Still looking for the Thresh, getting the Q, getting the bubble! That
Connecting
hooks
death
him
sentence,
out.
flaying backwards, getting a flash out of the Vi. Heated up tower shot gets a barrier of his own. Toxic, bringing him down to 200 HP apiece, but it's still first blood going the way of the Berserkers.
1-0. It could have been worse. And yeah, having like over aggression from not Silas, Slayer, and your support Toxic
Rise,
is a lot harder.
no
No
mana,
mana.
no flash. He is going to be able to get some phase rush movement speed slowed up with that 5-point strike. Abtello waiting for another rotation.
Good job.
Wing forwards has the shield red buff slow and picking up a trade kill. 1-1 goes the scoreline.
Patello actually is playing Ambessa in jungle and pulling off this early game like he's matching Lego. I really like it. I really like the fact that he pulled off the Ambessa jungle. I believe like after seeing his clearance, the fast, like it was kind of fast, like he finished full clear, and the scuttler on a spawn. So I believe we might see some Ambissa jungle, not this early if she got buff again, but like it's doable. It's not far behind.
Yeah, it absolutely seems like it's finding its way on in. And as we hoped, Peachy Pixie is able to dash on forward. Death Sentence going behind the member here for Pixie and Slayers. They're going to be jumping on in. Ignite ticking 200 HP. Flash away. Minion auto level up. Makes him survive the auto, but Thresh has got another one on
50
deck.
seconds.
Toxic picking up that kill. Rooted on out, waiting for another set of rotations. Flash is mad life. Toxic picking up the hook. Slayer cashing in off his supports. Nice play.
That's the NA Thresh that you're looking forward to watch. Right now, mid lane,
Perfect
perfect
execution. In the middle
execution.
end, there's going to be an all in, waiting for that second proc. Kakarot doesn't end up eating it. Holding the cooldown is Beer, knowing they don't have quite enough damage to get it done, and just using it on the way for a bit of push.
Still fighting. Might
Still
end up in a
scrapping,
kill.
but not going to be lethal on either side. Both parties know that it's a little bit touch and go. They're going to back on out. Drake started in the meantime as Waldo is going to take a lot of damage out of this Hemo Plague. Leap striking away. Chunked with no TP. Not where you want to be for the Jacks.
Better tempo and Drake, so they actually started it. And right now, you can see the Ambessa looking forward, looking for the steal. 3v1 situation, make it 4. And he locks in the other target, and he's not gonna contest it by any.
No, bot lane's nowhere near, so Abtello is waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Death Sentence just wide. Lego Aliens can be rooted up thanks to that last bit of Grav Gun. Phase rushing on out. Rise is able to escape a similar fate.
Fast game, like even though we were just minute 7, not a lot of kills, but there's still you can see a lot of proactive plays, proactive movement, and both teams are just trying to step up. And I really like the Lucian. That's currently in the current state. He's looking really good, but to rise, I believe we can see like we have seen a lot of toxic gameplay that he's just like tries to roam a lot in mid lane when he was playing with Alistair, and right now when he's playing with Suresh, he's got his angle up into the Hex Flash and just force the rise out of his comfort zone.
Yep, Kakarot, though, responding appropriately. You see him hovering towards that top side, so will not fall prey to another toxic roam. In the meantime, we said we needed a lead bot lane, and you need to keep this pace high because Peachy Pixie is your tempo, is your fight in this bot lane. Nice Death Sentence connecting. Eden's got that ebb and flow, though, and that health bar went up instead of down.
Thresh hunting. Hex Flash in, and
Hex
this
Flash,
fish is
Flay.
fried.
Eden does not end up connecting the hook. Fancy footwork from those flippers here is Peachy Pixie. Red, white, don't fight, the old adage ringing true. Meanwhile, in the mid lane,
Lane.
connecting a perfect execution 2 away, and the public execution back. They're trying to yo-yo this one out. Kakarot is going to be slain thanks to the Ambessa jungle gank. Lego Alien can only watch. They have found their president.
They did, and they actually playing it really good. And right now, the Shuriken Flip is gonna be your ticket out of what's happening in mid lane right now in bot. Q doesn't land. 2,000 of experience on Aphelios. It won't be enough unless you get your damage
Oh,
dealt.
Waldo. Oh, Waldo, you gotta wait for the counter strike to be able to be pressed again before flashing forwards. He flashes, and Beer can simply respond with mobility of their own. And that is no sums on this Jax. It's just a rough go of it for Waldo today.
He's just having a bad day, I guess. Like, probably that's not his normal gameplay.
Yeah. No, it's tough. He's down 42 CS against his laner. Arashi free farming quite comfortably. He's up a level on this rise too. And when Vlad is not pressured, it feels like Peachy might be at the end of a very short leash.
It's scary. Like Vladimir is one of those champions that he got no early presence when it comes to 1v1s. He's just trying to stay alive in most cases, or like just not dying. But right now, being ahead in 40 CS, being ahead when it comes to turret plating, he got like only one, but it's gonna help him get the large rod, get the ring on him, the boots, and you know Vladimir's passive. Whenever he gets some AP, he gets HP, and whenever he gets HP, he gets AP. So he's just stacking both ways.
Again, all of which continuing to feed into one another. He's got not only a comfortable laning phase, he's got the most CS in the game. Out of all of Summoner's Rift, he even has more than that Rise in the mid lane. So he is going to be accelerated on in. It's only 2,000 a gold lead in the meantime, but you feel like this Lucian has to get another play soon, or they might start fighting their way on back.
I believe that after what we saw in the previous two games, I believe that Arashi is one of those players that you have to keep an eye on him. Like he stepped up in the first game playing Ornn was the key chain that brought up your first, I don't know, victory in team fights. Second game did the same thing. Third game right now is having a really good performance, and right now you can see the waves
Tidal
in
wave
bot side.
culling. This is going to be a great fight for the Berserkers, though. Slayer's got that red-white combination. Has to put it to good use. Death Sentence connecting out of the Nami box pop. Slayer's finding another back step as here comes the Ambessa. Ignite ticking. Barry's going to be eating the worst of it, but here comes the jungle. Killing spree for Ambessa. Lucian ran out of road as the Death Sentence is going to be stepped away from Eden in retreat. Kakarot re-engaging Vaultbreaker channeled, but doesn't send. Everyone descending bot lane, but Slayer remains unslain.
The whole squad are looking into bot right now. Ambessa is very low
Whoa,
HP. You can
Vaultbreaker
see the
forwards
Slayer.
throwing out the ultimate cease and desist. The Vi finds the target, punching him down with that one. Kakarot's going to be jumped on by a pair all of their own. Here comes the counter-strike onto a pair as well. Everyone's here for the party, and it is blue teams hitting the dirt. Waiting for a Vaultbreaker. Toxic's going to be punched to death, shut down where he stands. Simply bring more members. The Berserkers find their opening bot side.
The Berserkers are like the Avengers. 5 members, and you got whatever you need in the last team fights. You got some gold, you got some shutdowns, which is gonna help you a lot into coming back into the game and make the difference in gold a lot less. But right now, on the other side, you can see Arashi trying to scale, trying to get some gold in his back pocket, and also keep in mind that Ampesa, you didn't have the shutdown on her and you're losing tempo right now. You had to get the recall. You had to not overextend, not to look for some extra blades to be able to contest whatever the next play that you're looking for.
And right now, for the Jax, who, knowing he did not want to fight himself an honorable 1v1 up in the top lane, simply didn't, and ends up making a huge, huge difference in that bot lane fight. So shout out to Waldo for finding the opening. We were talking about he didn't quite have his form he wanted. That's a good heads up play.
Sure, and right now you can see the play in mid lane.
Pixie's going to be taking a tower shot and stepping just wide of that Ambessa ultimate. Meanwhile, connecting onto Waldo. Ultimate's going to go wide. Moonlight Vigil, no problem. Slayer picks up the top laner.
Also, I like the fact that Thresh Toxic is actually doing his job. You're just like hooking everyone. You're playing as like one of a really decent Thresh players. You know, when he's playing that far, like I thought that this player is not Emerald, not Plat, at least like high diamond players, because I love the movement, I love the play style, and oh boy, I'm becoming a fan right now.
He's playing well. He's absolutely performing and is finding ways of keeping this Lucian honest. Abtella's gonna be jumped on though with this Vault Breaker. He's got plenty of mobility, but the Aqua Prison not connecting. A little bit more shielding out of the W. Re-engage from the bot lane. Peachy Pixie can't quite close the distance. Run as fast as you can. Ambessa remains standing. The shielding and movement too much to overcome.
Actually, one of the things that's gonna make a huge difference in team fight, the fact that Kakarot got the Road of Ages 2 stacks, minute 14, which means that he's gonna have
X
the
Flash
stacks on.
flayed in. Pixie caught, throwing up the emote, looking for more toxic. Knows that they have made the play.
They already did it. First blood turret in both sides, which is gonna help them claim defeat forfeit, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they still need to at least get one more objective. And yeah, the first 3 kills went to White Lotus right now trading with a tier 1 turret in mid lane. That's huge. If you know League of Legends, you know that Tier 1 in mid lane is the most important turret of the game because basically it opens the whole jungle top and bot. You can have control into whatever side you really want to take.
It's so much space to work with. That's really what it is. And then, like you said, you start moving that pressure into the jungle, and camps become difficult to defend. And then camps are hard, so your jungle is starved. And jungle is starved, so Slayer's going to be eating a culling in the meantime. Down to 1/3 HP, dashing forwards, relentless pursuit. But look at the sustain out of the ultimate Moonlight Vigil. They get him through it. Peachy Pixie getting the engage in this mid lane. Meanwhile, phase rush proc toxic's gonna be taking some damage on the other half. Pool spent, death sentence lands, so much sustain out of the hemo plague. They can't kill this top laner. Vlad regenning through it all. Kakarot and Waldo gotta call the playoff. W forwards, do they have the CC on the other half of it? He dips forwards and bites off more than he can chew. Arashi down in the top lane.
Arashi's first item is Death Cap? Question mark?
Toxic's got the box to work with, but that's about it. He's forced to flash away. Surely not going to be taking another tower shot is Waldo. And this is a bit of hubris. A little bit too much up in the top side, and they're going to swiftly be punished. Meanwhile, Bear going to be taking a cease and desist of their own. They're getting too crazy with it, and Berserkers all too happy to oblige.
A lot of gold got in your pocket. You made like no more difference in gold. Like 500 gold is nothing. Also, your Lucian is scaling. And what's more important is your Rise is scaling. Having 2 kills, being up in 30 CS in mid lane is really important for you. I believe that Rise Vi, they are your win cons.
I would agree. I would temper that with the fact that this Vladimir, once he's long death sentence to the other side of that one, or sorry, dark passage with that lantern, makes Lego come up just a bit short. But Death Cap, certainly one of the opening items of all time, and it's only going to get more powerful as time goes on. Once more AP behind it, public execution. Lego, aliens, forced to flash away, tidal wave onto one. Jungler's going to be taking the damage so far. Throwing out a Hemo Plague, Shuriken Flip misses. Peachy Pixie on the receiving end of more Akali damage, forced to flash away. They get one member, Lego Alien, first death of the game.
On the other side of the map, you can see Waldo actually trying to push for this tier 2 and top side. He can also spot Arashi trying to recall to match him, but it's gonna be over in time. Like speaking of Jax, Jax is one of those champions that can easily eat a tower up. Teleport is important, is gonna make your turret survive.
That being said, no Triforce. This Jax is so far behind the curve of the game. There's only components left for the purple top laner. So Waldo needs a little bit more juice behind that tower taking in order to finish off top T2.
Yeah, and also I believe he gotta try playing around the other side of the map when it comes to objective, as he's doing right now. He's just going to bot side, trying to catch more XP, more waves, and pressure the other side of the map. Once you pressure, you remove the pressure from your team. Like basically, if you think about it, like if you removed Vlad and Jax of the equation of the team fight, make it 4v4. Who's winning? Not winning the
Oh,
team,
absolutely.
but winning the
If you take top
trade.
laners out of the equation, Berserkers, you're pretty happy with that. You like that deal. That's a good
Exactly.
deal.
Exactly. So getting this Vladimir out, getting Akali out, getting Akali is one of those less resourced players. So they're trying to match like you're not doing really good, and your other one who's trying to match you is the same. So it's just like free farming in bot side.
Yeah, if you can make sure that someone of higher value is forced to match you, that's a solid place to be in the side laners. Is Lego Alien moving on in with their bot lanes can start denying some camps, and these Berserkers team is starting to return the favor, not just losing out on the top side camps that you saw at the beginning, but looking to take some of their own bot side.
Berserker's mid lane is looking to get for their death cap for their third item, 2 items completion. Right now, you have control over the top side river. When it comes to vision, you have control over the bot side. As a defensive wards, you know that no one is actually trying to get in. Public execution
Flash
is here.
R connecting onto Lucian. He's just going to be beaten to death where he stands. Peachy, Pixie, Cods. Ever get that feeling of deja vu, Sekya?
It's personal. It's totally personal. Like if it's not personal, they won't do that to him. The Flash Ultimate, the follow-up from Thresh, and the Flash Moonfall visual from Slayer. It's definitely personal.
Absolutely clinical. Every single time we say AD carry has a lead, bot lane has a lead, they're able to deny it. Take his license, man. It's going to be Atacon taken and Herald wasted. Meanwhile, up at the top lane, pools of blood continue to flow, and they're coming from only one team.
Cannon saved. But now actually you can see the Akali trying to pressure the tier 2 and bot side. You have to turn, you have to defense. Your top lane is opening inhibitor turret right now.
They're able to get somebody back in time. It's both of this top jungle combination. Herald not able to kill bot D2 because somebody wasted the charge headbutting into the wall, but we will talk no further. It's Toxic trying to find a loop around, and he's got reinforcements. 4 members on poor Kakarot and Weldo, waiting for a bit of a play out of this Rise ult potentially, but he simply walks in, accepts his fate, hooked out of it. That's going to be a sacrificial lamb.
And the turret is gonna be one of your gifts after getting this Rise. Also, Rise is one of those champions that's actually right now is spiking 2 items in a boot, looking for the third. I believe it's either gonna be Death Cap or Crypto Bloom. I don't believe that he needs Crypto Bloom. He doesn't need that magic penetration items. He needs more raw AP to his kit. He's gonna be scaling pretty well, and you should just save him when it comes to team fights. And speaking of which, look at those hooks.
Hook, beautiful, trying to get to the other side of the blast cone, ends up putting their head directly on top of it, blocking up that blast cone. Peachy Pixie's going to be taking out this mid T2, pardon me. And Lucian Nami,
You can
they're
do
not out of
collapse.
this yet. They have members descending, but they can run right here towards this Drake pit, and this is Hex Gates. They might be able to find a 007 exfiltration. Thresh looking to cut him off in the meantime. Eden, do you have it? Trying to find the disengage. Aqua Prison backstepped and bot lane out. They get out for now. Thresh is going to be looping around in the meantime.
Okay, you can see the Jax. Also, Nami is trying to move out. Your AD carries out of the equation, but Jax just got red-handed. Got a flash.
Yep, Flash spent. Drake up in 14 seconds, and now they have their complete dominance of position. Vladimir just a half second late to stop the Nami. Meanwhile, Lego Alien not quite ready to give up their jungle without a fight. Collision course. Toxic's gonna be jumped on. Peachy Pixie's got the damage. Toxic down. 2v1. Slayer's got a barrier and maybe an outplay on the other side of it. Gets the damage in 200 years. Double kill to Aphelios. That is absolutely giant to be able to stymie any sort of re-engage Kakarot eating a Moonlight Vigil. Flash falls, only puts his forehead directly into the barrels. Beer's got a re-engage herself. Trying to find the perfect execution too. Stepping to the other side of Lego Alien. Bubble dodge. Movement on point. Beer continuing to dance. Gets them back where they came. Drake the prize.
I.e., Aphelios is a scary Aphelios. You saw the damage. You saw the 1v2. Even though he was low in HP, he didn't have a lot of resources, a lot of help. Thresh Toxic died way too earlier when it comes to team fighting, but now I mean, he got the team fight, he got the damage, is looking for the LDR completion. He had nothing to do with LDR. I think like he had like 3k gold plus in his inventory. It's a lot.
Cullen gonna be chucked out, getting Beer down to half HP. And like you said, that is 3 items complete. Aphelios was able to do it with 2. Now he's got a bonus one on top of it. And you are enemy number 1. You have to be contained, or Slayer is simply going to run all over these fights. Lucian's time in this game, and his window is closing fast.
The Baronasha will spawn in 30 seconds, which means you have to shift your vision control on top side, play around it, and use it for picks. Your Thresh Toxic is not having his best game of the day, but he's actually, if he is able to just land 1 or 2 hooks in team fights, you know it's gonna be crucial.
Cease and assist available, and no blue team members on screen waiting for that lantern to come through, and gets there in time. Toxic waiting in the wings, able to get his 80 carry to safety. That's a realm warp in on 1 member. Rise, buddy, what are you doing? Kakarot delivering the Uber Eats mid lane. 2 men fall for the Berserkers.
Baron is contested, you have the numbers advantage, you have everything that you need in lined, and now Slayer's just gonna get some healing done from the Baron Nashor, get the recall for tempo, and look for the final push.
Arashi simply TP's bot lane to catch this wave. Waldo can't even get some damage on structures in the meantime. Baron completed, smited down by Mbessa, no big deal. Arashi is now wearing purple's got all that AP to work with. No Hemo Plague, waiting for the pool to come up. Kills him in Counter-Strike. Lego Alien's got no ult to work with, waiting for that transfusion to the other side. Going to chuck it up on a minion. Vladimir out, mid pushed, and the Lotus can do no wrong.
The final pushes up, you can see actually Aphelios putting a lot of damage when it comes to tier 2. I believe also they are not gonna try to end it, or not they are not gonna try to have an extra push. They should play in 2 lanes, mid and bot. It's the easier to push. Top side won't be your favorite side because basically your next objective is gonna be a dragon, and you know you need to be closer to it. The hook lands, and this Aphelios, this Rise is out.
Rise is down and out. Vi follows suit, and this is complete domination. Start to finish, the Lotus are looking to smash this one home in a hurry.
You need to get this fish. One more death, I guess. You need to fry her. The hook from Toxic. Oh man, like it's so obvious where you're hooking. He's actually
Nope,
pulling
not
off a
able
really
to.
good game.
Yeah,
Second one mid.
Toxic's able to. He's performing pretty solid. Flash Flay, the other side ends up just sending it, fully pulling the trigger. Peachy Pixie caught unawares, right as you say. Toxic hears the call and makes a clip of his own.
He made it. You have 2 hooks. He had to land a third one with the flash. He got the kill. He got the Lucian. He got the fish. Next one, and your base is open. The clock's ticking. You have super minions. You have ranged minions, cannon minions, and you have everything in your back pocket. And right now, it's all about time.
And time does not favor them. Able to get into the pool. Arashi might be in some trouble here. They find the turnaround kills, but they have no more
Slayer!
damage. Lil Waldo picks up a single kill as an Alamo. Peachy Pixie, what kind of montage do you have for us? 1 kill so far. Slipping away from that public execution on the steps of the fountain. They will bend the knee. The shutdown doesn't matter. In 28 minutes, we have a 3-0 sweep. White Lotus Carnation take it down.
White Lotus Carnation, 3 games, 3-0. This series was quick, and also, like, your team is just rocking it. I believe that they have a really high chance into winning the finals after what we have seen coming out from them. You have carry potential in Arashi, you have carry potential in Slayer. Toxic is really good when it comes to playmaking. And Beer, I really like his play style. He's just chilling in the mid lane. I feel he's not the most like player that takes shots in team fights or like takes the highlight, but he's doing his job. He's not low when it comes to CSing. He's not losing a lot, and also he's matching a rise with Akali, which is really good to see an Emerald player do all of that. And I believe that White Lotus, one of those teams that I'm really looking up for them in the future.
Certainly so. They punched their ticket into finals, and in very lopsided fashion, they were simply able to outfight, outdraft, get a little bit, just get a little bit dirty in terms of the way that they were navigating this. Toxic living up to the name, top lane dominance for Arashi, and what more can you say? Credit where it's due. They played a solid series. They made this one quick, and they were looking to wrap it up.
For sure. I'm super happy that I get a chance to cast with you again. It's been a while, Sandbag. I believe that's not one of my best casts overall, but like pairing up with you is just like incredible.
Yep, absolutely a pleasure as always, Mr. Sekio. But unfortunately, with the swiftness of the 3-0 and the ticket punch to finals, we are going to have to say goodbye to the Berserkers. Credit to White Lotus Carnation, and that's going to do it for us. More playoffs down the line. Keep an eye on those socials. In the meantime, I have been Sandbag. This has been Seikyo. Super making it happen behind the scenes. Shout out to production as always. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening. See you, folks.